So let me ask you a question. Think of the weakest person you can think of. A person so weak that at one glance you can beat them without even trying. Now, what would you do if you got your ass beat by this person? For me, I would turn into the most ruthless person that you can think of. I'm talking on the levels of anime villains like Dio or Frieza, because I can't live with the shame of being beat by somebody like that. And I asked this question because it relates to a manga that I came across called Tsuyoshi Against Him No One Can Beat Him by Kiyosuke Maruyama. So what is Tsuyoshi Against Him No One Can Beat Him? The story begins with Hoshizaki Inosuke, who just won the All Japan University Karate Championship, but he is left unsatisfied with his win because his rival Teru was not there to defend the championship title.
That's no good.
Hoshizaki soon learns from Teru that he gave up karate after facing against Kawabata Tsuyoshi, a scrawny convenience store worker that is supposed to be impossibly strong. A curious Hoshizaki goes to find this supposed strong fighter to see for himself if it's true or not. And spoiler alert, it is most definitely true. There, the story revolves around Tsuyoshi trying to live a normal life as he constantly fends off challengers that come to fight him. The situation escalates to the point where government agencies, both foreign and domestic, try to recruit Tsuyoshi for their own goals. The art in the Tsuyoshi manga is really, really good. In fact, it is one of the reasons why I started reading it. I found the mangaka's Twitter accounts when I was doom scrolling on Twitter. They were showing an updated version of an earlier panel from the beginning of this series to show how their line work has improved. And their line work has most definitely improved. It's like way better than it was in the beginning.
That boy is good.
My favorite part of their artwork is how good the artist is like showing showing the expressions. It's very detailed, and especially like it Tsuyoshi's case because he just has this such a plain looking face, which kind of reminds me of like Saitama from One Punch Man, where Saitama has like this cartoony plain face. But when these overpowered characters get like serious, like Saitama gets serious, and when Tsuyoshi gets serious, that's when like that's when the mangaka like goes all in on the details, and you can really feel what they're feeling at that time. The manga has a wide cast of characters with their own motivations and personalities, but my two personal favorite characters are Tsuyoshi and Hoshizaki. I like Tsuyoshi for several reasons. For one, the moments where he locks in and he actually like goes all out is very, very entertaining, especially when there's times where like he tries to hold himself back because he truly honestly doesn't want to fight. He just wants to be normal and wants to go to the art school. He wants to like get married and like have kids. He just wants to have that normal life. But all these fighters are looking to like test him out, or these government agencies that's trying to use him to bolster their country's strength, or just constantly throwing themselves at him, and it gets to a point where like he explodes. And there's a moment in the manga where that actually happens, and it's like honestly amazing to see. But Kyosuke, the author, they do a great job at humanizing Yoshi, which is kind of like a thing you have to do when you have like these super strong characters. That is like the goal for everybody to like beat, or like they're the pinnacle of like the strength in that universe that they're in. But they do a really, really great job at doing that, and that's where Hoshizaki comes in, because I believe the author used Hoshizaki to help with humanizing Tsuyoshi a little bit, because Hoshizaki at first was one of those people that was challenging Tsuyoshi, but Hoshizaki decided to stay back to learn from Tsuyoshi to try to figure out how he got so strong. But as time went on, they eventually became like great friends. It was to the point where like Hoshizaki was even teaching him how to like become a better artist, because Hoshizaki actually went to school for art, and it even gotten to a point where Hoshizaki declares that he will protect Tsuyoshi from all these fighters. Like he'll be like, the gatekeeper to make sure nobody fights against him. Really much like their dynamic, and I feel like Hoshizaki is like his only true friend, or the only person that's looking out for Tsuyoshi throughout like the series. And then whenever they're together, like it's always like cool. It's like, wow, man, with like, like how you see like an old friend. It feels like that's like what their relationships are. Like, when they're separate and they get back together, they're like, bro, like how you been, and stuff like that. But there's definitely some funny moments between the two characters when they're together and like separate. Hojizaki is definitely like a musclehead, but with like a heart of gold. Um, but yeah, but those are my two favorite characters. There's obviously other characters that are pretty good, but yeah, I like those two the most. I highly recommend Tsuyoshi because, for one, the art is top notch. From how the characters are designed, and like when those intense moments happen, like how much detail that goes into it, and the cover art on like each of the volumes are like amazing too in like color. Uh, but the story is especially interesting because for me it just kept me hooked throughout the beginning. Like what got me in is this scrawny convenience store worker being like these disciplined martial artists like as like with ease, and then the story evolves into him Tsuyoshi fighting against like government agencies, and then now it like evolves into ancient secret Japanese group that is working on the sidelines to like that secretly has been influenced in Japan. So it's just like a bunch of crazy stuff that's happening, and you wouldn't believe. But I highly recommend you guys like check out Tsuyoshi. Against him, no one can beat him. By Kiyosuke Maruyama. But I appreciate you guys listening to me talk about this manga series. I hope you like to see more about this stuff. I'm going to keep reading some stuff and introducing it to you guys because there's so many stories out there. If you wanted me to see other comics, just let me know. But I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being a part of it. Bye.